Here's a thought. Grinding in video games feels way easier than grinding in real life. Obviously. But the reason is simple. You are not the character. You don't feel the sore muscles, you don't feel the hunger or the boredom, you just see progress. You see levels go up, you see stats improve, but in real life, you are the character. You feel everything. Every ounce of resistance, every moment of doubt, every bit of pain. That's why it feels heavier. The truth is, the mechanics are the same. Progress in real life and progress in games both come from repetition, patience, and deliberate effort, but the only real difference is your perspective. In video games, you're detached. But in real life, you are attached, and that attachment is what makes the grind unbearable. See, the closer that you are to yourself, the louder that your ego gets. Suddenly, every workout isn't just a workout, it is, what if I fail? What if this doesn't work? What if people judge me? Or I'm just really too tired, I'm really sore, I can't go out and work out today. Every study session isn't just practice, it's, what if my grades don't improve because of this? What if I don't pass a test? What if I'm not smart enough? The task itself is never the real problem. The problem is the weight that you attach to it. Think about giving advice to a friend. When they're in trouble, you can see the steps clearly. You can break it down without hesitation, but when it's you, suddenly everything's too complicated. Suddenly it feels overwhelming. Well, that's attachment. You're too close to your own experience. Detachment just means stepping back. It means separating the task from the emotions. It means seeing the work as just work. Not as a reflection of your worth, not as a personal judgment, not as some existential crisis, just work. That's how you get clarity. That's how you actually execute. Psychologists, I've heard, call this psychological distance. It's the same principle behind journaling or meditation. When you write your thoughts down, you create space between yourself and the noise. When you meditate, you step back from the noise and just observe. That space, that distance is what allows you to act without being weighed down. Now, here's the catch. Most people never really build this distance. They stay glued to their emotions and they treat every failure as something personal. That's why they quit. They let every obstacle feed their ego, and that's why they burn out. But if you can detach, suddenly the grind will just become simple. Not easy, but simple. A workout is just a workout. A study session is just a study session. You're not dramatizing it. You're not negotiating with yourself. You're not asking if you feel like it. You're just doing the work the same way you'd complete any other task in front of you, or just like even in a video game. Now, the path of least resistance, and I've talked about this concept of the path of least resistance before in my past videos. It says that nature always flows to the easiest option. Left unchecked, you will drift towards comfort and you'll avoid pain, you'll procrastinate. That's the natural state. But what detachment is what lets you resist that pull. By stepping back from yourself, you stop letting emotion dictate the decision. You stop asking, do I feel like doing this? And start asking, what needs to be done? That's also where conscious effort comes in. Detachment isn't about shutting off your mind. It's about choosing deliberately and intentionally. It's about acting with intent instead of being dragged around by feelings. You recognize the resistance, but you don't identify with it. You create space, and in that space, you get to choose. And that's the shift that changes everything, because once you stop clinging to the ego, once you stop attaching your worth to every task, you free yourself to work. You free yourself to repeat, to endure boredom, to face discomfort, because you no longer see it as suffering. You see it as just progress. The truth is, life is always going to feel heavier when you're too close to it. But the second you pull back, the second that you can detach, the grind will actually become manageable. You can finally move without dragging the weight of your own emotions. So here's your challenge. The next time that you feel resistance, just step back. Don't ask, how do I feel right now? Just ask, what needs to be done? Don't be emotionally aware. Just detach from the noise, create distance, and do the work. Because attachment isn't really weakness. It's not running away from yourself. It's taking control of yourself. It's stepping into the role of the one who chooses, not the one who will suffer. And if you can do that, if you can detach yourself and still execute, you'll realize something very powerful. Life was never harder than a game. You were just too close to see it clearly.